clearly we need tools for communication. Every time we try to have our discussion about anything we disagree about, it ends up in a horrible fight, or it ends up in a deep freeze, or some combination of that. Or, obviously we just need to communicate better. Can you give us some tools, some rules for communicating? Not a weird thing to want, is it? I mean, of course, that's what people want. What I note, though, is the vast, vast majority of the folks I work with are actually very effective communicators. Now, there's some exceptions, interesting exceptions. Every once in a while, I'll meet somebody who's somewhere on the autistic spectrum. For
Mm,
example, in a couple that they used to call it Asperger's, they changed that term because it wasn't specific enough in the diagnostic world.
okay.
But somebody who's not very good at at reading their partner's emotions. They can't tell if their partner's happy with them or pissed off at them. That's a communication problem. Or every once in a great while, I will meet a couple who literally don't speak the same language. If they're talking to me, at least one of them speaks English, or both of them speak English to some extent. But occasionally, somebody's English is not good yet, and that's a communication problem. Or, just the fact of, even if their English is fine, their cultural differences sometimes cause communications issues because they'll interpret the same thing in a very different way.
Mm,
What may be a compliment in some cultures is an insult in others. It's interesting how that
yeah.
works. Okay, fair enough. But the vast majority of folks I work with, those are not the issues. The vast majority of folks I work with are very skillfully and effectively communicating, and the problem is what they're communicating, not how they're communicating.